seems like their defensive rotations, contests, helping the helper stuff was really good tonight. What did you notice about the activity of Milwaukee's defense?
I thought they did a great job. I thought they were sharp defensively. As you said, their rotations were really tight. They contested shots. They forced us to be a jump shooting team, protected the paint against us. We obviously didn't have a great shooting night, but credit them. They were clearly the better team today.
You made the distinction between strength and physicality before the game. Did you feel like that edged more to them having a physicality advantage in the second half, particularly that third quarter?
Yeah, I thought they were definitely the more physical team in the third, especially, and that would have, offensively, we didn't get off to a great start. I thought we, made some nice plays, tried to get some good looks. But when you're not shooting it well, you got to use your defense and physicality and rebounding to try to stabilize it. And obviously, we didn't do a good enough job of that.
Particularly early in that third quarter, I think 2 points.
Okay. Shoot the mic, please.
2 points the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. What did they do specifically during that section of the third quarter coming out of the second half that really bothered you?
Well, we didn't get anything easy, and then we had to rely on jump shots. We got a couple good ones. We had a couple good possessions that we didn't make, but when you don't get an easy source of offense like that and then you don't shoot it well, that can happen. And then we just weren't able to temper them down the other end of the floor.
Just any update on Lou and that situation? I
think he's fine. I think he's going to be fine.
Okay. And, Gallo mentioned just before the game that you made a distinction between strength and physicality. And I know Chet didn't start on Giannis. Like that Dub started on Giannis. I think, Chet had to face Giannis, on drives maybe in that third quarter. He's guarding him some on post-ups. Like generally, like that gap. Like how do you, in a matchup like this, I know everybody isn't Giannis, but like, do you still have to close that gap some? Like, is there a necessity to have some strength for a guy like Chet? Maybe not just in a matchup like this, but long term.
Yeah, I think we had Dub on him for much of the night, and he's handled matchups like that well before. We did switch him, so we ended up in situations where different guys were on him. But then our plan was to double him, and we just gotta, if we have any sort of physical mismatch, we're going to send bodies to the ball and put guys in a crowd, as we've done. So I didn't think we did that well enough tonight. But we do have solutions for not just Chet, but really anybody that's in the post or around the basket with a strength mismatch or a size mismatch. I mean, we've done that. That's why we've generated so many turnovers. I just didn't think that our activity tonight or physicality was good enough. I thought that was evidenced by the turnovers they had. We were low on that, which isn't the goal, but is usually a barometer of our activity, intensity, that sort of thing. I thought obviously we didn't have our fastball there.
Yeah, and Shea finishes with 5 of 12, I believe. I mean, even in games where teams might rotate or double him or just load up generally, like he never finishes with less than 20. Just what you see from where you were sitting that maybe helped limit Shea tonight?
They had him in a crowd. I thought he got off it a little bit, but they had him in a crowd much of the night, made it very difficult for him to get his cracks. I thought as a team, just our overall pace and sharpness on offense wasn't where it needed to be. And usually when you can do that, generate that, you can get the ball ahead of the defense, and now you start to get some cracks, not only for him but for everybody. And I just thought, our force on offense didn't overcome their physicality, and then our physicality didn't overcome their force, and that's how 25-point loss happens.
Yeah, and then last one for me, just it felt like in the first half, the quality of threes were good. They maybe just didn't fall. As the game goes on, I imagine, you're trying to take whatever advantage you can get, especially when they're rotating like that. Just what do you think of the quality of the threes as the game went on?
Well, I thought they did a good job of shutting off the paint. Credit them with their plan. I thought, we didn't quite have the pace or the juice to get the cracks that we would normally get, and therefore we ended up having to shoot a lot of jump shots. A lot of them were good looks. I'll be interested to see how that grades out, but obviously we'd like to get to the paint, the line, more than we did tonight, but we weren't quite stubborn enough in terms of the force we played with, the pace we played with.
Do you have to say anything to your team to help them keep their heads up after a performance like that, especially in the second half?
No. I mean, they're usually pretty good about getting back to zero after a game, win or lose. But it's one game. I don't overreact to it very much.
Harrison, sorry.
Wanted to ask you about Josh's night, and it seemed like when it came to just pace and force, he was playing with that kind of from the outset.
Yeah, he got off to a really good start, made some shots, and played well, especially in that first stretch. So that was a bright spot tonight. But obviously, we needed the team to play like that. Much better than we did. Do it collectively, much better than we did to generate the type of cracks that we want to have.
And obviously, before the game, you were talking about how much you were looking forward to this challenge, just in particular, first time playing Milwaukee, and it's March 24th. Just how valuable is this experience for your guys?
Yeah, this was a great game for us. Obviously not the outcome that we wanted, and we wanted it to be a more competitive game than it was. But you have to learn the lessons through an 82-game season, and you have to learn the lessons in wins and positive moments, and you have to learn the lessons in losses and setbacks. And so this has always been a team that's been great about responding, but we got to stare this one in the face, take the lessons from it, and turn the page. We have another challenge coming up on Tuesday.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.